All right. Well, here we are again. I'm Damien, and this is
Terry.
All right. So this is Ghana Alliance. We are back once again to talk about some different issues that are going on in the world and as it relates perhaps to Ghana, West Africa. We have a few things to cover today. First off, we can talk about the event from last night, which was fun. Glad that you made it.
Second event in a row.
Yes,
back to back.
Very good. And you have a few more. It is the celebration season.
Yes, it is.
In New York City, and I think probably the case in a lot of parts of the world. Everything close to the holidays, hospitality-wise, things rev up. People have celebrations, holiday parties for companies, that sort of thing.
Right.
So in New York City, around this time, somebody like Terry is sitting on 3 invitations every night, kind of thing, because he's the connector. I'm invited to some things here and there, but not quite as much as Terry. But last night we ended up in the same event, which was kind of neat. And the few nights before, we were actually invited to the same event, but he didn't make it there. But we didn't realize he was going to be there. But it was kismet, whatever. All right. So the event we had attended last night was hosted by Studio 189, which is the brainchild of Abrima and Rosario. Very neat concept, really intended to bring in goods from Ghana to better what's going there, fair trade concept, that sort of thing. Do you know anything else about it from your dealings?
I mean, I know it's more about sustainable eco fashion, right? So if you're empowering women to create, and these clothes are dope. I mean, these are things they had a New York Fashion Week show too, right? But it's really awesome. They're looking for sustainable growth because then the women can, send their kids to school, right? And it trickles down. So I think it's pretty awesome. Rosario also being a part of it. Crazy story. I read about this in the New York Times about 2 years ago. And, it was pretty awesome just meeting Rosario in person and speaking to her.
Yeah, she's very chill.
Yeah, she's chill.
Very down to earth, and I think that makes a great partnership over there.
Yeah.
And people were.
Rima's awesome. I mean, she just has such a big personality.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a great mix.
She was really neat. She got back to me today and just thanked me for coming and for my wife going as well, and obviously Terry being there. So it was neat to be there, and it was fun in the sense that there's a collaboration. I think it's called Vox.
Yeah, I think it's
but it's a South American fashion products, and so you have this collaboration in that space that just really seems to work.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be spending a lot more time there. While there, we got to talk to a number of people, and we just want to highlight a few of them today. Let's start with Eye of Africa, Miss Fadina, who we met.
Yes.
Have you seen any of her talks or?
Yeah. So she's a former model.
Okay.
And what she realized was there wasn't a space for African dialogue in terms of what's going on. So she created that platform, Eye of Africa, where she brings personalities and just really gets into their day-to-day.
Okay.
All right. So I've seen a couple. I know she has a new season coming out. She talked about that last night with us. It's a YouTube series, and more power to her. Hoping we can connect with people like Damien, right, to talk about hospitality, different things of that nature as relates to, the African continent and development. So.
Again, really just a neat opportunity to collaborate and just this brain, brains together.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So she was neat, and we had a good conversation with her. Nana, I was glad to meet her, and she is by day creative director for Mona, MONAA. When she's not working on fashion, it's a very pretty site. It's monaaonline.com. When she's not doing that, she's working on Star 100, which is a really neat concept. Why don't you talk a little bit more about Star 100?
I believe, was founded in London, and it was just the way to gather Ghana's, Ghana, friends of Ghana, diaspora folks, to really just connect about Ghana. So they brought that to the U.S. Some time ago, and they flourished. So a lot of those relationships have transformed. People got married through it.
Really?
Partnerships, yeah, really. So now what she's looking to do is what's the 2.0 version? Right? What are the things going on that we can tap into as a network and say, hey, we'll get behind this, right? So tourism, healthcare, things of that nature.
Awesome. And my offer to her, being the head of a tourism and hospitality department in Brooklyn, I have access to space, which is great. And it's space that is largely underutilized in the sense that we could be doing so much more. I'm teaching an event planning class in the spring. My students has to produce an event. So I'm looking for things that can be done, in a great neighborhood in New York City, pretty decent access in terms of the subways or buses. Pretty good parking, actually. And, when I think about what Nana's doing, I'd love to see us collaborate a little bit more, host something. I actually met with the one student from Ghana that is on campus, and I gave her kind of an update on where things are at, and told her about last night's event, hosting something on campus that was African in nature. I kept it pretty vague, but whether it's West Africa or Ghana specific, I'd love to see that kind of energy and that presence on campus, and I know that it would attract a lot of students, faculty, and staff. And I'm developing a little bit of a reputation for programming on campus, which is nice. Next week we are having our Brooklyn Tourism Symposium, which should be neat, and hopefully you can be there again.
December 8th, right?
Yep, next Thursday, so in the morning. If you're in Ghana and you want to come over, I'll be, I'll save a seat for you. But if you're local and you'd like to come through, anybody's more than welcome. We have plenty of space. We can accommodate up to 350 people in the auditorium. And directly following that symposium, where we have the acting president of the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, we have an author on Brooklyn sites, visitor's guide, and we also have the owner of a tour company that are on the panel discussion. After that, we're doing a debate on Airbnb, which is going to be stellar. This is put on by our students.
What are they debating?
Airbnb versus New York State. So it's the battle over the legality of Airbnbs and how that works in terms of people that own their facilities or their buildings, or rent or lease or what have you, into local government. Divided issue, but we have great support from the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, so they've invited all of their members. I've invited, obviously, everybody I'm affiliated with, and we'll be continuing to do that over the next few days leading up to the event. So getting back to you last night, so met Nana, we're going to do something with her. Met Dana, and we'll do something with her. Actually, her name's Robin. I don't know why. Oh yeah. So the name of the company is Saretha Rose. And so that's also a very nice website, and they are. There we go. That's right. She makes these awesome handbags, and we'll post all of these links on the Facebook page if you haven't already seen it. But she makes these great handbags and amazing leather. She sources everything, not necessarily in Ghana, but she's trying to do that in Ghana. So maybe that's a connection that we will be able to help her with. I think she was the young lady who is currently sourcing everything in Liberia, but I could be wrong. Let's see, where does it say?
Liberia.
This is Liberia. Okay. But she wants to do work in Ghana. So again, Ghana Alliance, here's an opportunity for a connection. So if you have access to artisans who can work on these bags, definitely reach out to Robin S. And I'm sure you can, her email, it's hello at Saref. So I can't say it.
SAREPTHAROSC.com.
Correct. And she's located in Brooklyn on Prospect Street. So we will continue to converse with her and see if there's an opportunity for collaboration. And again, as we think about event of the nature where people bring in their stuff, you know, whether it's textiles, whether it's tech. I mean, the space is awesome, so I can just set up tables all the way around, or there's beautiful ledges. It's an old 100-year-old campus, which isn't old by European or Asian standards, but by American standards, that's old. So that was neat. Moving on.
Yes.
Anything else that popped?
Oh
yeah, that's the one. So the Train of Hope. If you have not heard about this, I'm really excited about it because there are some really neat implications. And if you've ever spent any time in Ghana, you know that there are some challenges when it comes to healthcare. That understatement? Yeah, a little bit of an understatement. And so met Miss Kruger last night, or a couple nights ago, at a common friends gathering. Shout out to Kimberly. And so this concept that I was introduced to is called Phelophepa, Train of Hope. And they have put trains on the tracks. They've gotten the trains from these train companies, and then they've retrofitted them with equipment so that they can provide medical services. To dental, to checkups, to shots, everything. And so they retrofit these trains and they go into the depths of South Africa. They have 2 trains now, and each train that comes out is a little bit more modern, a little bit more practical, I guess, from a medical perspective. But they're now raising funds for the next train that's going to go. And it's just, one-stop shop. They have 18 or so cars in the train. So every car has a different purpose. And these doctors and attendants and et cetera, there's a lot of them. They live on the train for a while.
That's it.
Out of each month, they spend 1 day home. And the rest they're on the road.
Train, yeah. It was pretty awesome when I went to Galen last year. Concept. So you see, how with this in the Ghana context, what are your thoughts?
That's the question. I have not traveled very far outside of Accra, and that's my limitation. However, you think of north of Kumasi, or if you want to go on the east side and further north. Who we need to tap into is the young men, the photographers that do those expeditions. No, well, there's the drone, but there's also the expeditions guys that they just leave every other weekend and they find a destination. They just go, no hesitation. They just go and they figure out a photography concept and they just make it happen. But following the train systems in Ghana, would that be useful? I don't know. And so that's the bigger question, and that's the question that we ask you guys. Is that something that you think would be effective? Are there obstacles that we don't know about that would disallow or basically stop this from happening? It's not cheap either, but let's face facts. There's a serious medical issue in Ghana. You know, basic care really isn't there, and
Preventative care.
and yeah, definitely preventative. And this ties into what Mama Lou's doing in terms of water and sanitation, which goes back to charity water, which we need to get Scott Harris
Yes,
on
Scott,
board.
come to Ghana.
Yes. I know that he's tried, but I think there's some serious challenges that he's faced. And so, you know, when challenges have surfaced, he has focused elsewhere, and he's been very, very, you know, successful at that. But, you know, how far could this go? Could we find the funding, and would it work?
I think I just had a Jimmy Neutron moment.
Jimmy Neutron moment? Okay, sure.
Brain blast. So when you say challenges, did he get specific with anything?
He didn't. I need to talk to Scott again.
Okay. I'd say, you know, we should then make that a point, because that would be a really, I mean, they've done awesome activations. They had one downtown time back where they created a 3D virtual day in the life of a girl fetching water.
Oh yeah, that was with what's her
Yes.
face? I don't know. There's Scott.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's done a really good job. And the other thing that I love about Scott is that he's a promoter in nightlife.
Yes.
So
He gets it.
his story is pretty neat. But in any case, I mean, when we think about this train of hope and if it could work in Ghana, I gotta believe that it could. But you have to have the right people involved. You would have to have some governmental, support. A company like MTN could be a financial sponsor. Some of the bigger companies that have a stake in apps,
Hop on board, yeah.
literally hop on board.
That would give a chance. That would. I mean, that's.
I mean, you outfit these trains with solar. You do some different things that. My only concern, and I shared this a little bit with Ms. Kruger, is that they do everything themselves. And granted, I appreciate that, but there are so many other organizations that are doing dental, that are doing vision, that are doing prosthetics. I understand the idea of one-stop shop, but they're limited in some ways, where these other organizations are so laser focused on things that, you know, why couldn't they hop on board and provide that service? Just hop on board. So I think the collaboration there would be really, really, really neat. So that's Train of Hope.
Yeah, hopefully I get to go to their gala again, or has it passed? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's, you know, for us, I think it's just a matter of conversation and continuing on. I know that I made some connections or provided some ideas. She didn't know about charity. That's right. And so I said, you need to talk to Scott. Meanwhile, on her end, she knows a professor that studied water. And so I need to make that connection. So we're going to trade connections. Not that I know Scott. I mean, Scott, I've met and talked to, but you kind of talked to him, but he wasn't.
He was busy, I guess.
Yeah. But, you know, Scott, talk to us. Talk to us. We're friendly. We want to raise money for charity water, too. So, last but certainly not least, bots.
Bots in West Africa.
Yeah. So if you don't know what bots are, do a quick Google search. But this is probably one of the hottest trends in the tech world right now, which is this idea that these bots, which are basically automated chat response systems. So you write down a message in a chat window, and you ask for something. Say, I'd really like a cheeseburger. Bot responds, well, what would you want with that cheeseburger? So it's an automated, algorithmic thing, and historically it's just been for fun, but more and more companies are finding new and improved ways to make it work for them. So it cuts out a lot of the basics that are involved with, in some cases, customer service, which people don't like to talk to a bot in some respects if they really want their issues resolved.
Yeah.
But when you think about computer assistants,
Siri.
the first question is your computer plugged in? You know, if your computer's not working, is your computer plugged in? Is your printer not working? Is your printer plugged in? A bot can cut through 16 different things before it actually needs to go to somebody human. But again, we don't like to talk to bots. But there's more creative ways that companies and entities are using these bots, and that's what we could explore a little bit in terms of Ghana.
Yeah.
So we recognize that there's a customer service issue, whether you're in hospitality or banking or what have you. Retail. Oh, what was the woman that stared you down in the mall?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, that was that was classic. I mean, it's just nonsensical lack of wanting to provide basic service in these environments. Now, the reality is that people of Ghana are incredibly nice, incredibly hospitable. But hospitable isn't the same thing as understanding hospitality. And so I explained it to somebody this morning that my end goal, you know, which is going to take a very long time, and what we're working on collaboratively, is to replace a lot of the expats with, because they can and they should. The problem is that there's a training issue, there's an education issue, there are things that just don't work. You know, chew, spit, forget, literally. Education, which is something that I'm studying. So when it comes to bots, is there maybe an application that can be used in these environments? Could it be used? I mean, thinking how mobile ready and mobile friendly Ghana is, maybe not for everybody, but for a lot of people. I mean, we've leapfrogged in most of Africa. People have leapfrogged the use of laptops, and they go straight to mobile phones. So they're mobile first. And you know, if that's the case, utilizing bots to get basic information, maybe from a medical perspective. What if bots were utilized to give basic medical?
I think I've even seen that with they have an app for farmers. You can program, or you can even get how to farm and certain things using these apps. So you can build the bots for tutorials.
What about the visa process? What about applying for school? What about
driver's license?
Yeah, I mean, anything that is seen as being friction. I mean, even if it's one phone that one family member has, if everybody has access to that and they can get help, then they get access to the phone, they use the bot to find out basic information.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you have these boots now,
right?
Right, you can find directions, you can watch TV, you can charge your phone.
And by the way, this video is not sponsored by Starbucks. This is not product placement. I just needed a mocha.
That's always need to remember.
And I'll share this because we're on. But I shared with Terry that earlier I was on the phone with Starbucks International because I came across a situation the other day where a barista at a local Starbucks had passed away literally days before I walked into that particular location. And there was a picture of him, and then they had a GoFundMe set up for him. And I was just really curious, how do you handle the staff who's in mourning? How do you handle the customers? I literally watched a woman almost fall over because she was distraught because this barista had passed away. Which goes to show you that this particular barista and probably others that he worked with took the time to get to know the customers, because they really were impacted by this. And one after the other, after the other, after the other, were voicing their concern and their condolences. And it's it really has nothing to do with Ghana per se, but I think globally, if we talk about Vita Cafe, if one of those guys were to pass away, how does the staff deal with that? What does the management, the leadership do for that location to take care of those people? And then what do you do for the customers? I mean, what do you do symbolically in that space? I like what Starbucks did. They have a picture of them. They have something there to try to raise money to help the family. But I called the International because I wanted to know what their policy was and what they generally do in this situation. They said that they couldn't comment, but the district manager was going to get back to me. So maybe this is something that I'll talk about.
Yeah. That would be. I mean, that's really true. How do you deal with that? How does the family deal with that?
I mean, I will say I give a lot of respect to Starbucks because they do some really neat things. Everything they do, not everything they do works, but they're a very nimble organization. They seem to really care about their employees, providing opportunities for education and benefits, etc. It's not perfect, but it's better than a lot of situations. I really am curious to see what the impact of minimum wage being increased will have on places like Starbucks. To flip it to Ghana, we know that the attendants at Vita Cafe, for instance, don't make a lot of money. And there's way too many of them behind the counter. So, one of the goals in working with some of our partners over there is to improve hospitality training so that, a graduate of our program will take the place of 2 people. As a result, you should pay them twice, double, so to speak. If they're getting 250 GC, no, they get 150 GC per week, maybe?
It depends. I know some people make like $200 to $300.
Yeah. But they should make double that. They should make double that because otherwise nobody will ever see it as a career. They have to struggle through. But if you can raise the pay, but you're also getting more out of them, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think we could actually do it in such a way that, a Vita Cafe or a Cafe Mundo or any number of different venues, hotels, restaurants, clubs, lounges, they could, with the proper training, and we're not talking quick fix, we're talking long-term training, they could be as good at their jobs as 3 people combined. And then you pay them double what they normally pay. So the management leadership saves a little bit of money, but they're actually getting more good work out of it.
Increase the value.
I'm amazed. Like, there are some places in the city that I work with a little bit, and they have 1 person behind the counter, and they are taking care of a busy place, and they have no problem. They hustle, they make it work, they anticipate what the guests need. They're filling, cups, their straws and napkins and everything. But unfortunately, and I like a lot of the people that we meet in Ghana, they just don't move. And it's who's the GM of Burger and Relish? No, forget his name, but jolly guy.
London.
Yeah, expat, of course. I mean, the way he put it, he literally has to train his staff once a week because the details, disappear. It's like and it's. I hate the fact that I sound like a Westerner who's like, oh, let me teach them.
I mean, to be honest, it's more so we're just understanding culture, right? So
Yeah.
it's more to the extent that we can help. And it's what you said, there's a lot of factors. You know, you're getting paid next to nothing.
Right.
You know, you can't work hungry.
Number one, you have to take care of your people. You absolutely have to take care of people. And it's a matter of, in my mind, it's a matter of channeling that awesome, amazing, hospitable nature into practical hospitality / customer service skill. And I think we can achieve that. So
Scale that too. I think that's the ultimate goal. You know, scaling that up. So you know, it's a pipeline for job creation in different sectors. I mean, hospitality then goes to retail and the malls that are coming up need people. You understand that.
I'm curious to see how Kennedy and company helped with the tourism training that was supposed to be going on. Labadi Beach Hotel, that we're involved with that. I don't know. And I know that there's good people that work there, per Leslie and my experience over there. I think we're over there with Eric once too. But got to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see when we go there next in January. By the way, one last shout out. Well, actually, let's do some shout outs to our friends over there. Raja, Kofi,
We'll see you.
get back to me. What's up? Talal, you are a hard man to talk to if you don't get back. Shout out to Leslie, of course, Eric, Tamara, Kobe, Daniel, Lord, you know, the whole crew. There's a lot of people. Miss you guys. Can't wait to be back. We'll be back soon enough in January, and the next summer, you guys are going to get sick of me because I'm going to be there a lot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I got to do my research and make some things happen. So, anything else?
I think that's pretty much it. I'm excited. December 7th, in about 7 days, is the election.
Yes.
So Newsweek just put a piece out. There you go. Thomas gave his opinion.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, let's see what happens. And then,
should we do a little event for that?
I
Or is that something on December 8th that we could talk about?
think we should. I mean, I don't know if anyone's doing anything.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
All right.
Watching.
That's it for us. We hope that you are safe and sound wherever you are. You can expect another one of these in the next week or so. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us on the Facebook page. We check it pretty often. And we will see you soon.
Awesome. Everyone.
Chalet.
Chale. Oh, chale.